following podcast contains spoilers for the book chosen and may include spoilers for other books in the same series. The participants of this podcast have also been drinking a lot. The participants of this podcast are professionals and did not drive home until sober. Please, drink responsibly.
You're gonna puke.
Read! Drink! Black! Ouch!
I'm trying to read.
What do you fucking think? Welcome to Blackout Book Club! Chia!
So many cameras.
Podcast.
SpaghettiOs.
The podcast where we read a book, drink too much, and try to discuss it to the best of our abilities.
And fail.
Yeah. We've done good so far.
Thank you for humoring me.
yeah,
We've done good in how many episodes so far now?
We are now on episode 10.
This is what I was failing at Googling. What do you call a 10-year thing? Like a centennial.
A 10-anniversary.
10-anniversary?
It's centennial. What is it from New Girl?
Oh, the Tenfinity?
Yeah,
Is our theme?
something like that.
Because the gift is what, 10 or aluminum? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Screw
something
it.
like that. Whatever.
I don't
doesn't
think.
matter.
I mean, there's decade for years. I don't know.
Centennial was 100, right?
Welcome to Blackout Book Club, as we
Hey,
said.
10th episode.
Where we do the things I already said. We're going to introduce ourselves. Who are we?
I'm Jacob.
I'm Tom.
And I have gone through one too many car accidents. Tristan Walsh.
I get it.
And who's that little guy?
Oh, this is Mr. Bojangles. He sits in my beer, but his legs are gone.
He's adorable, though. He's
like
He
great.
looks like the
him.
tank from Left 4 Dead now.
He does.
I know, right? Which is like the perfect build.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Chicken
But we're not
legs,
talking about
big
builds.
upper body.
We're talking about books. And today's book was my pick, Rant, by Chuck Palahniuk.
Palahniuk.
That's how you say it.
That's how you say
now
it.
I know.
Fact of the matter is, we're about to discuss this book. But before we get into the deep and dirty, boys, what you drinking?
That.
Jacob just like looks at me. What you drinking?
Strongbow.
Whoa, Strongbow. What kind, Jacob? You were so keen on it earlier.
Honey and apple. I hadn't had it before, and I was like, is it going to be good? And it was good.
Yay! Good.
Yay.
Do you mind if I pull it, Jacob?
Go for it, bud. Go for it. Where- He's gonna find it. Where's he pulling?
I'm going to drink a whiskey sour.
Oh, that's new. That's different.
That's different.
I like it. It's
Yeah.
You know what's
healthy.
not different? You not talking into your mic.
No, he hates
No.
who? Me
Me?
or him?
Or him?
Tom.
Him?
Yeah, Tom
Who?
hates
him?
man-child.
Tom hates
Justin?
mics.
I don't
And
talk into the mic?
No.
I am not very fancy. Currently, I just have a past blue ribbon. But
Tabs
But you have-
blue
that's
ribbon.
because I had to provide a drink for the
Ooh.
boys as we started
Oh,
doing.
What is
And
that what this
located
is?
under here, which you can't see in the audio version, but let me say it's something special. It's whoosh.
Oh, it's purple.
It is a Black
That's
Widow
black.
mixed drink, which goes along with the book. Yeah, so everybody go ahead and grab one. We got a fancy.
I want this one.
We got 3. Go for it.
It's kind of chilly.
Yep, I got a nice chilled one for you guys. I don't want to put any ice in it because we kind of like putz around a lot before we start, and I didn't want to water it down.
True that. Yeah.
So go ahead, take a sippy sip.
No,
I'll
are we allowed to
explain
know
it.
anything about it, or just
I'll
drink it?
explain it after we
Should I
take a
just
drink.
reach in blindly into
Yes.
this hole of a drink?
Oh,
I just do that.
I like it. But cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Blackout Book
Cheers.
Club.
Blackout.
Yeah.
Eat, drink. Or no,
boners.
not eat. Read. Blackout or something. I don't know.
Ooh. Oh,
That's really
I
mild.
kind of like to just drink
Yeah.
it.
it's
It's not a shot. It's like a drink.
It is a vodka
Just
and
cranberry.
cranberry.
Yeah, okay.
It's a vodka and cranberry
Ooh, I love vodka cranberry.
with
Cranberry.
with a little bit of cherry syrup in.
Is it like a cherry liqueur or just like some
Nope,
cherry
cherry
syrup?
syrup.
syrup.
That's a syrup.
I love vodka
That's
cranberries.
really mild.
Yeah, they're
They're
good.
cheap too.
Yeah.
That's
It
like
does-
a good
it doesn't
go-to
burn
drink.
you. I had to food color the vodka to make it black because
A lot of blue
we
in there?
couldn't
Is that what it is?
Well,
Blue and
there's a Blakova or something like that. Is a specific vodka that's black, and we don't have any, so
Oh.
I was just like, whatever, fuck it.
Would they even have it at like ABC or something? Or is it
They
something
don't
like
have
you
it
had
at
to order
ours.
from
I
like
checked.
Russia?
I checked. They don't have it at ours. They have it at like fancier ones.
Why do you guys have a bar key here?
Because we're fucking
In case we
baller.
need beers.
Book
Also,
club. Good thing we got those peripheral marks.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Didn't you go to the
Let's just say
bathroom?
he should not get up right now.
It seems like every time I fart, somebody asks me if I like poop
Did
my
you
pants.
did you poop yourself?
But I don't.
Because
I've
your
yet
history.
to, as you'll find out on Let's Play After Dark Mario Party. But
Right.
we're not talking about
No.
that. We're talking about literature. Whoa, whoa. My book, Rant.
Did you get this from a library?
Yo, I got that from
It's got a
fucking
barcode
eBay.
on it.
I got it from eBay.
That's a
Does.
library
Look at that.
barcode.
I
That's-
got
It
this.
is a library barcode.
I got that the same time I got 50 Shades of Grey, our last book that we
Oh.
read. I
Yeah.
got them from the same seller on eBay.
Nice.
So, yeah, check them out.
Very
$4.
eclectic reader.
Now this
Just
is
like us.
This is the same author that wrote.
This is Chuck Palahniuk, or Palahniuk, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Same author as Choke and Fight Club.
But was that originally a book that they made into a movie, or did he write the
Yep.
screenplay and everything?
He wrote the book, and then
Then he-
David Finch turned it into a film.
Ah,
boy
one
interesting.
one of the greatest films of the last 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And then also Choke was turned into a film, less successful, less good.
I did not know that was in film.
I didn't know
So-
Chuck was, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
This would be tough to, just give it style
Yeah.
to turn into film. All right, let's...
Which we might talk
yeah.
about that later because I have a couple talking points. But first, let's go into. I'm gonna actually use your Kindle, Tom. Go ahead and put this back
let
down.
me return this
We're
on.
gonna use this.
thing.
We're gonna go through. We're gonna run through what happens in the story, which is gonna be a bit difficult.
All right.
Because there's a
So,
lot.
spoiler warning, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler
'Cause it-
warning.
Again, it did the thing I like. It has like 40-something chapters, and each one's like, what, how many pages?
Couple pages.
Yeah, a couple pages.
Like
I always like that.
A couple are like 8. A couple are like, 20.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna run through it real quick. So spoiler warning again. I'm going to before we start, I'm gonna say this book was written in a oral
biography.
Yeah, oral biography style, where it was
weird.
like through multiple contributors giving their ideas on what happened.
An interview format.
Yeah,
almost.
interview format. So it gets a little mixed up, but I'm gonna run through the chapters real quick. What happens?
Not very good at illustrating.
Yeah,
that.
try. So, chapter 1, introduction. We meet a car salesman, and he is on a plane
Yep.
with Buster Casey's father.
Yeah.
And then it is revealed to us that
Chester Casey, yeah.
Buster Casey's a big deal. Like the patient zero for the rabies outbreak. He's like the typhoid Mary of fucking
Yeah.
Yep.
of rabies.
Yep.
And that's pretty much that's the main gist of that. Chapter 2, Guardian Angels. We are introduced to more of the players of the story. Echo Lawrence, Shot Dunyan, Nettie
Nelson.
Yeah, Nettie Nelson.
Buddy Carlisle.
Green Sims.
Yeah,
or-
well, not yet.
Not
I
yet?
don't believe.
Oh, okay.
They're on a trip to the hometown of Buster Casey.
Okay.
To like make sure Irene Casey's still alive. And
Yeah,
we're like,
his
"Oh."
mother.
Yeah, we're a little confused. Turns out she's his mom. Then we get chapter 3, dogs.
I forgot that's why they went the first chapter.
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
Chapter 3, dogs. We learn a lot about the dogs in Middleton and how they just exist. And there's
There's
also,
like roving packs of feral beasts.
yeah, it's crazy. And then that's pretty much that.
Which we never actually see the dogs or anything.
No,
right?
they're just a myth.
Nobody interacts with
You
them.
just hear
throughout
their
the
barks.
entire
They're a wives'
Yeah.
tale.
Chapter 4, fake stars. We learn Buddy is born, and then Buddy has a habit as a child to wipe his boogies on the wall above his bed.
Buddy, also known as Buster.
Also known as Buster.
Also known as.
Well, not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Buddy was wrong. Also, I shouldn't have said Buddy. I was a dummy.
Yeah.
So that happened. 5, invisible art. We are introduced. Buster had a childhood friend.
Buddy.
No, it's not Buddy. And he had a childhood friend whose name I can't remember.
I
But
thought it was Buddy Carlisle.
Is it Buddy Car? Is his name Buddy?
There are
think it's
so
Buddy
many
Carlisle.
people.
There's a lot of characters.
think it's-
It's definitely Carlisle.
Buddy Carlisle, daytimer, childhood friend.
Childhood friend. And we are on invisible art where it is revealed to us that Irene Casey, his mother, makes tiny egg drawings.
For
She does
Easter.
she does invisible ink.
She, on hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, in which Buster takes that knowledge, makes tiny grenade ones, which he turns into stinky rotten eggs and plants them on his dad's lawnmower and fucks up his shit, and it's just a dick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's all you really need to know about
Yeah,
that.
that is that chapter. Then we are chapter 6, the Tooth Fairy, which is an important chapter.
Very important.
Because it is revealed that there's a bunch of expensive old ass coins just hidden in cans and whatnot around the town,
Yes.
which Buster and his friend
collect and utilize. And
Buster is told this by a mysterious man,
by a mysterious stranger
he's
who
his
we don't know.
real father.
Yeah, he's like, I'm your real pa, and we're like, whoa.
And with these coins, he like breaks the entire.
He breaks the economy.
Yeah, he breaks the economy.
He does this whole town. Squirt guns cost $50 goddamn because these coins are super expensive.
Buster doesn't do this because he's a dumb kid. He purposefully is like, yo, I got gold. I'm going to ruin the economy.
He's like,
as a 10-year-old.
Fuck yo
fuck
shit.
Everything.
He just doesn't care.
Yeah, like these coins are like $1 million coins.
Yeah,
he doesn't care.
It's like one of these coins is worth like it's like a 1984 Buffalo Super Double Eagle nickel or something.
Yeah,
and they're worth like 10 grand.
1833 Double Eagle gold.
He gives it to some like punk kid.
For don't tell anyone I gave this to you.
Yeah, and he sets it all up. It's a whole scam, and we learn a lot about the psyche of Buster Casey.
Yeah,
as a child, even as a child, he's kind of shitbag.
We learned a lot, but we barely even scraped the surface.
Yeah, we don't really know who he is. Next, we have Haunted House, where it is revealed how Buster Casey, a.k.a. Rant, got his fucking nickname.
Yep.
Right?
Name of the book.
In the book, name of the book, Rant, he forces a bunch of kids to throw up during a haunted house where he used his fucking tooth fairy money, quote unquote, to buy real, like, hearts and shit from the butcher.
Because when you went through old haunted houses as a kid, there was like a bowl of spaghetti for like witch's hair,
and the eyeballs are peeled grapes, and he used real like beef,
real hearts,
real hearts and real shit.
Everything.
And then when everybody found out, they were like, start throwing up. Rant was another word for throw up because it was the noise.
I've never heard that before. Like rant.
I've heard
rant.
Heard
that before.
You haven't?
Yeah.
Regardless of Tom's like not
ideas of life. Why am I here?
People threw up. Started calling him Rant because he made everybody puke.
Yeah.
Next we got pacing, which I don't really remember what pacing was.
Oh shit.
Pacing was. How do I get back real quick?
I'll get you.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
So there's the sex tornadoes.
Pacing was a car salesman. Another one of the interviewees just explaining how to judge your potential target.
Yeah.
Not important.
Yeah.
Fishing. This is where we learn where Buster Casey starts just shoving his arm in holes, just letting bugs and coyotes bite him.
Anything in a hole in the desert.
Where he starts getting boners from Black Widow spiders.
Anything that's mildly poisonous or has anything.
Yeah,
I wanted to look this up. Is this a real thing?
I have no idea, Tom, but this was the point where the book hooked me.
I don't know.
At this point, I was like, yo, you get boners from
Black
spider
Widow
bites?
boners?
I'm stoked.
I don't know if that's a thing, but probably.
Yeah.
So I was stoked.
We'll
That's
Google
why I
it.
gave you guys Black Widow drinks.
I'm feeling it.
So you guys would have bonies.
We did skip over where there were the sex tornadoes.
Well,
what was sex tornado? I don't remember that.
That was during dogs.
Buster could smell any used condom or used tampon.
Oh,
and
I forgot hanging on the fence.
He could tell you whose dick or vagina.
Whose dick or vagina it was.
It was.
Amazing sense of smell.
Important for later.
Just super smart. Chapter 10, Werewolves. We get an offshoot onto about rabies and a small child getting a bat, getting rabies from said bat. Rabies.
Really does.
Chapter 11, the bees. We have shit. What was that?
What were the bees about?
It was a family gathering of the Caseys.
Yeah, that's where the Caseys start dying. That's where the older Caseys start losing.
All the grandmas
all
and
due
grandpas.
to pests.
Yeah.
It was all bugs or spiders or dogs or something killed off all the elder Caseys.
Yep. I don't remember the food.
12, the food. The food is about, we learned that Irene Casey started to poison her food with items in order to create people to sit there and chew longer and taste the food.
Oh, yeah.
Which everybody else was like, they're like, well, if you made a real good peach cobbler, gobble that motherfucker down. Yeah. You put some screws in that peach cobbler, I'm gonna put it in my mouth and it's gonna sit in there longer because I'm making sure I'm not eating screws.
Yeah.
And that
makes you appreciate the food.
Yeah, it was a minor chapter about why Buster had the tasting and sensing abilities that he had, which it led you on.
Okay. Yeah.
It led you on as to this is why he could do that.
All right.
Which is
misdirection.
Yeah. It was a little side thing. 13, sporting. This is about this is one of my favorite chapters. 13, sporting is about where Buster Casey utilized the power of having a boner to not be in school anymore.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yo, girls got cramps, and I got this huge dick right now.
I have a boner. It won't go away.
I can't do anything. So the next
Your move.
Yeah, Sporting and 14 Going Away are about that. They're both about Buster Casey using his venom that was mentioned earlier to get boners as an escape from being shitty at math.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I am not a nerd. I don't do
My
math.
foot's all swelled up from a Black Widow
kids
bite.
to be like, we have boners.
Yeah. And then he tricked all the other kids into pretending they had boners for the same reason. Some of them, like, just wrapped their dick in rubber bands, and some shoved cucumbers down their shorts.
It was an interesting look at life where he's like, well, why did you do that? We're like in the middle of class. Why did you say I have a boner? Well, that's my anti-venom to ever being nervous in class again.
Yeah.
Like, that's interesting.
Which was going against the whole, like, spider bite.
But then he
whatnot.
screws over all of his classmates into just getting a GED.
Yeah. According to the secondhand accounts, he accepts both a GED, finishing school, and a $10,000 check to get out. Which we don't know if it's true or not.
But to Buster is nothing.
Yeah.
Does not care. Has all that Tooth Fairy money.
I love
as we
how
said
he doesn't
earlier.
care about money.
He doesn't give a shit.
The magic fucking gold.
He wears the same clothes. He doesn't care.
Next, we got Going Away, which Buster Casey leaves his hometown.
Yep.
Speaks with his father before he leaves. His father, what Casey?
Chester.
Chester Casey.
Casey.
Chester Casey says, I know that fucking suitcase you guys filled with gold coins. And I know I ain't your real pa. And an old man, when you were young, and told you that he was your real pa and told you where all that money was.
And listen, boy, you come back quick to save your mom.
Yeah, and then we're like,
What the fuck does that mean?
Shit's getting weird right now. And that's basically the entire thing.
Dude,
He's
this
like,
is all starting to
also-
come back to me now.
Yeah.
I get it.
Also, Chester Casey said when he was leaving, he's like, say hi to Echo, say hi to Shot, talk about his doggy.
Yeah. Sandy.
Oh
the
yeah,
pug.
Sandy the pug.
Buster's just like, I ain't ever gonna get married. He's like, wait till you meet Echo.
Yeah,
And
wait
it's
till
like,
you meet Echo. And he's like, okay. And then we got, that was Going Away, Boosted Peaks. We have a whole chapter from Shot Dunyan, who is a character who we haven't gone over yet, but we will in a second.
He's Buster's buddy.
He's Buster's buddy, and he talks about, apparently this is where it's revealed we're in a bit of a dystopian future.
Yes,
and everybody has a
somewhat.
USB port on the back of their neck.
Yep.
And everything is altered.
It's the
Like,
Matrix.
vision. Yeah, it's the Matrix at this point. Like, people, corporations boost like how you feel things and how you sense smells.
They record memories, and you plug in, and you, instead of watching a movie, you relive the memory of someone eating cake or porn. You just relive someone having sex.
Yeah.
Instead of watching a film directed by David Finch called Fight Club, you experience a film called Fight Club through the eyes of someone who was in the fight.
Yeah. And how they would enhance it by, like, if it was a really sound-oriented one, you'd maybe boost it through someone who was blind.
Yeah.
Because their sense of hearing would be so much stronger, according to the book kind of thing. So you boost it through them.
This is where shit starts getting, like, real.
Yeah.
Right? It starts getting, like, a little weird. We got, so that happens. Then we're reverted back to Buster Casey arrives in the city.
Yeah.
And he meets the team, which is Shot Dunyan, who we just talked about, Echo Lawrence, who turns out to be a female, although up to this point,
you don't really know yet.
You don't know. Which she speaks a lot because it's interview style.
Yeah.
She speaks a lot, and you don't know she's a female until a few chapters in. So that's important. And Green Taylor Sims is also. They're in a car, and they pick up Rant. And
Because they're party
crashing, which is the event of basically a demolition derby at night.
Yeah.
It's a night demolition derby.
On a public, just like in public.
Yeah. They just fight each other.
Just
and, like,
on any road, they just smash into each other.
Yeah. Not too hard. They have rules, you know.
Yeah, they have rules.
Less
They
than
regulate
20 miles an hour.
No T-boning, only tapping at the edge.
Yeah.
Shit like that. So basically, you're introduced to these characters. Important. Wowsy zowsies. Next, we got chapters. Hitmen. We're introduced to Wax, who is
Waxman.
Waxman is slightly important. That's debatable. We'll talk about
Kinda,
that
sorta, later.
It's a character, whatever. That's it. The city, chapter 18. We're just introduced to the city life. There's an ordinance. The ICU Act splits people into daytimers and nighttimers, which is said every time someone does an interview. It says what they do and then what their like status is.
Whether they're a
Nighttime
daytimer or a nightimer.
Which you don't understand until this point.
Yeah.
So now it starts to like roll together. So there's people who live during the nighttime and people who live during the
Which is supposed to be for what? Traffic? Is what they say?
What do you mean traffic?
Like it's to help to alleviate traffic because there's too
I
much
like the
traffic.
original idea. Why they?
That's what the original idea was.
Oh, it's to make everything easier or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Too many people.
Yeah.
If you just like make half the people be at night, it's half the amount of people.
The next
effectively.
The next 3 chapters we have are Student Driver, Junkyards, and Echo, which are basically going over Rant loves this character, Echo Lawrence, who we're introduced, and we find out is a female. And then we learn about her and how during Student Driver, Junkyards, and Echo, he buys her a car, he buys her a lot, he buys her things because he wants to get with her, he likes her. Then during Echo, we find out that A, she is a female, B, she has a tiny gimp arm,
and leg,
and a gimpy leg, and her parents were killed during a car crash back in the days when they were studying like the science of like traffic, slamming into one another and like.
How car accidents affected traffic and why people like slow down and it like ruins like,
which I like all the historical like how he says like what's the quote he says something like nobody cares about the person who died there, it's the fact that it slowed down traffic kind of thing.
It's the fact that everybody stays to look or something like that.
It's all about rubbernecking and whatnot.
Rubbernecking. And then we got a history and love. Basically, Rant Casey falls in love with Echo Lawrence, sends photos and letters to his family, his pa and ma back home in Middleton.
He sends he kisses the dude. What's it?
He kisses Shot Dunyan.
And takes a snap picture just to piss off his parents.
Just to piss him off. And
because he loves them.
Because he loves them and he wants them. He
wants to distance himself.
It's explained. It's like once, if they think I'm and not to be offensive or anything, he's like, if they think I'm a gay boy, once they find out I'm in love with a girl, they're going to think the world.
Yeah. If I get a girl in trouble, they'll be so much happier kind of thing. Yeah.
So he's just leading them on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm checking the things right now.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
All right.
We're on a smidge long. We got to go real fast.
All right.
Love, werewolves. Again, we run back. The Patsy, In Denial, Tree Night. At this point, we lead up. Nettie
Nelson.
Yeah, Nettie Nelson's introduced. He was a party crasher too. They let him be in mascot position, which is just hanging out in the car while you go demolition derby. And Tree Night, Tree Night was the big night where Rant Casey takes the car off by himself, lights the Christmas tree on fire, drives off, and crashes and gets the police to chase him, gets on the news.
Drives off the bridge into the water.
Disappears.
What the fuck?
Disappears. Where is it? We don't know.
They find the car. Doors locked. Windows up. Nobody.
Key still in the ignition.
Nobody.
Yeah. Nobody knows. 29, Werewolves 3. Now we're introduced to the fact that now rabies, which Buster Casey Rant had, has turned people into sort of a zombie-like state.
Droolers,
Droolers, they're biting people. It's infecting people. It's a huge epidemic.
You're introduced to a nobody character, the stripper who gets her toes bit off. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter. People are bitten. They're infected. It's a big problem, and it's dealt with during night because daytimers they've been segregated basically.
Now that they have daytimers, nighttimers, they're like, well, it's a nighttime disease. Why mix it to the daytime? We don't want to segregate, but why make it an everybody problem when it's just a nighttime problem?
So it becomes a big deal.
Yeah.
Then we're on Accounting, Hindsight, Werewolves again. Green Taylor Sims. This is where it starts to fucking like blend into each other.
This gets weird.
It gets real weird at this point.
Real fast.
Where super out of nowhere. Green Taylor Sims turns out to be an older version of Rant Casey, where he is through the act of getting in a car crash and getting in like super speeds and he's able to travel through time.
Yep.
So that's time travel.
That's the point of party crashing, it turns out.
The secret goal of party crashing is time travel.
If you get in a big car crash and go through all that velocity and all that power, you are sent through time and you are able to do whatever you want at that point.
The main goal of time traveling is to
make yourself
resolve
stronger,
origin.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Resolve origin.
There's the grandfather thing or the grandmother thing that they talk about in the
altering,
liminal.
Yeah. And it's just super weird at that point. It's hard to like really put into words.
The idea is if you kill your parents, you become before you're born.
Become instead more of than mortal, a god.
Instead of creating a paradox where you don't exist, you become a god.
If you
outside of time.
If you kill your parents, you destroy your beginning, thus destroying any sort of an end that you could ever have.
So
Therefore,
you exist
immortal.
outside of time and are immortal and can do anything.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to run through the next couple chapters here. It is said the people who we know, Nettie Nelson, Echo Lawrence, and Shot Dunyan, all say, oh, it's possible that's the alternate goal. Also, Tina something. We didn't mention her. She was.
I like how her name is Tina something. That's what they
she
call
was
her.
a lover of Wax, who we said a couple of minutes ago. She's also a party crasher, and she runs the radio station that
it's not important.
WDVD, the rubbernecking station.
Yeah, rubber.
We're here for traffic accident.
It's graphic traffic. They report
graphic traffic. That's it. Yeah, they all know that this is the end goal. Green Taylor Sims, at this point, we find out everything that he has said has been a recollection, and we're not actually speaking to him in the story.
From the diary of
It's from his diary.
Yeah. We have never actually...
Past tense. Yeah. And so it is assumed at this point that Rant crashed his car with the fucking tree on top, went through time, and now everybody knows that like a time thing is weird. Buster Casey shows up, hangs out with Echo Lawrence, loves her, like lives with her.
You mean
takes Buster's case.
Yeah. What'd you say, Jake?
Chester Casey.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chester Casey.
Takes his place pretty much.
Yeah, everybody's a little like confused, and then we get Werewolves 4, which is again about rabies epidemic, everything breaking out. Flashback, Hitmen, and Resolving Origin. This is where we have, as it turns out, it starts. Everybody just blatantly says time travel's a thing. Crashing your car makes you go through time, and Green Taylor Sims is Rant from a like he's the
original,
the original Rant, and then fathered more to become more powerful. Yeah. He said that Green Taylor Sims went through time through a car crash, banged his own grandmother.
Maddie did Esther, who did Liddy, or
he banged his great grandmother, then banged his grandmother, then banged his mother.
Because every time he did it accidentally, because he went back to his home. There was a 13-year-old girl, and she's like, "Come in, let's fuck." Then they fuck, and then he's like, "Is that calendar right?" And she's like, "Toad's deaf." Yeah. And then it was like, "Oh shit!" But he felt super good, and he could smell better, he could hear better, he could feel better, he was stronger. All these facts. So now he knew. He knew that he was more than a man, but less than a god. And if he kept going through these car crashes, he could go through time and consistently bang his ancestors to create a stronger version of himself, which would eventually lead to him being himself stronger.
Which it turned out, because of time travel, is actually just not creating anything stronger. It's just perpetuating history.
Yeah. It's super weird. Yeah. All of this happens. Yeah. It comes out of nowhere and is like very odd.
Which comes back now, because I didn't notice the beginning part where it's like, go back, save your mother. He does, after the tree crash, goes back to save his mother, but it's after Green Taylor Sims, I'm assuming, banged his mom, so he gets there naked, so
Green,
am I too late?
That's what happens in
We'll get to that.
So then he takes care of him, and he becomes...
Well, that was Chester Casey.
Well, that's Resolving Origin. Resolving Origin is Green Taylor Sims bangs Irene Casey, then leaves, and then Rant's father, Chester Casey, who is essentially Rant at this point, shows up and goes, "Fuck, I missed it," and then just tries to protect her as much as he can.
Who grows
from that
up to
point
be Chester,
forward.
Yes.
And then
raises Rant as his son.
Rant as his son.
Because he is.
Then we get Communitas and Werewolves 5, which is not. It's just, again, rabies epidemic and Communitas is everybody living together. It's not. Final Connections. Everybody basically says, "Yeah, you can time travel if you crash cars."
Yep.
Rant Revisited is like what Rant's life was, and then contributors, you have the list of people who gave to the story because it was interview style. So there we go.
Where they are now, kind of thing.
All right.
It's super hard to boil down. This book was weird.
We'll get to dissecting it.
So
I got notes.
Let's take a smidge break right now because I
that
got
was
pee
the run through,
and then we'll do discussion because there's a lot of discussion that
we'll
has to happen
then
right
we'll
now.
discuss.
I'm gonna finish the Black Widow.
Finish, Tristan.
I'm a piece of shit.
Wow, that is hanging on the edge.
It's not bad.
Something about the edge.
Hey, welcome back to Blackout Book Club, where we drink too much and try to talk about books.
Which is why we have to take breaks.
Fucking Rant.
Yeah.
Rant.
Yeah, but Chuck Palahniuk. You motherfuckers want to discuss this shit right
Yeah,
now?
This motherfucker right here wants to talk about it. First
I got
off,
so many talking points.
you really like this book, right?
All right. Well, do you want to?
Did you like it overall?
Do you want to say that real quick? Because
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So overall, what did everybody did you like this book or not?
When
It's
we
just,
first started this,
yes or no?
didn't we used to have like a whole like it by thing, or did we not end up doing?
I don't
that?
remember.
I don't
That's
remember.
a different show, Tom.
I'll write down the
never
notes so we
mind.
can do that. I'll write that down. I'll write that down now.
Okay.
I thought we were gonna do this after discussion.
Okay, we will.
Well, do you want to do our discussion right now?
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
we
just
brought
gonna
it up.
save this note.
We're just wasting
All right.
time. We're already
This
over.
guy,
Okay.
does Chuck Palahniuk
Just-
have a medical background? Because he uses a ton of really like specific
Yeah.
scientific medical terms,
I like
especially
the-
during the graphic traffic
Yeah,
stuff.
I like to think that he just did a lot of research.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he did, not to my knowledge, has a medical background,
Yeah.
but he does definitely. Like, there's
Goes
a lot
really
of
deep into it.
even not just with medical, but like the coins that
Yeah.
they sell.
Yeah.
He,
Oh, yeah, he
names
does research.
specific ones that are worth money, and
Yeah.
then my gross burp.
Yes.
It just seems
Which
like
you even think the Fight Club, he did so much research into psychological like
Yeah.
imbalances and stuff to do something like that, and like just like all of it. He seems like he does his research,
Yeah,
which is
I
really
don't-
impressive.
I don't think
for
he had
him.
a background. I think he just Googled a shit ton.
Yes,
A
yeah,
lot of Google.
which
Yeah.
which still is very impressive to be able to do
Important,
something like that. Yeah,
important,
Commendable.
Yeah, so you don't get fucking called out on your shit by 3 drunk assholes on a podcast.
Here we are.
Bah, 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 bah.
The total of
I-
billion viewers.
I finger gun banged every camera.
No, those are expensive. Don't.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, safety
shit.
on.
There you go.
I got a couple talking points, but I don't know if you guys want to bring your shit.
Wait,
I mean,
did
I've
you
got,
guys?
I've got a shitload about time travel.
Now-
I can hold
well,
off on
let's
it.
do that in a section.
Did you guys listen to the audiobook? You both listen to the audiobook?
yes.
Or? How'd you guys do
let's
it?
talk about that.
I did Kindle the whole way.
I did partial reading, partial audio.
I did full
With
audio.
book?
I
Yeah.
read this for about 10 of the 40 or so chapters
Yeah.
that there were.
Okay.
The rest were audiobook. I read the first 10, listened to a lot of audiobook,
Yes.
and read the last 4 or so.
Okay.
I crushed them when I got back. Jake?
I did
What?
all audiobook.
All audiobook.
Wait, one thing, like I did all Kindle, so maybe it's the Kindle font or something. I didn't notice the little moon and sun symbols until chapter 37.
Wow. That's
Till
so
the
far.
end
I
of the
think there's
book.
only 40 chapters
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
book,
There's
too.
42 chapters.
I don't even know what you're
Oh.
talking about because I did an audio.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
Jacob,
can
audio
show
only.
you.
Every time,
Yeah,
here,
let's
I'll
bring
give
it
it to
there.
him. Yeah. Every time someone speaks, it has their name, and then it has a little sun or moon, which
Shot down,
represents
he has a
day,
moon party crasher kind of
which
thing.
Oh, that's
represents
so cool.
Sun-
day
Brains
or
party, yeah.
night timer.
Yeah.
And then they're like roll as a person past that.
There's the Irene Casey with the sun,
Jacob,
Brains party.
having listened to the audiobook,
Yes.
me too. Like when they said shot Dunyan, night timer,
Nightimer,
party
Party
crasher.
Crasher, yeah.
The way
That's
it was
what it
represented
said?
in the
Yeah.
book. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The way it was represented in the book was shot Dunyan, tiny moon
I had
symbol.
no idea.
And then party crasher.
I thought it was some kind
Oh.
of error on my Kindle when I saw a little moon thing. I was like, what is this? Is this some kind of colon
well,
of some sort?
that's another thing. And I wanted to bring this up. As you went through the book, a lot of the interviews after you went through like one, if it was someone who's shown up a few times throughout the book, after you went through like one in that chapter,
Yeah.
they wouldn't say that anymore.
Oh, they wouldn't?
So it was like the first time Echo Lawrence shows up, she shows up all the time in the book.
Yeah.
It's like Echo Lawrence, night timer, party crasher, and then like the second time she talks, it's just like Echo Lawrence. Hey, I'm Echo Lawrence. Dildos, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that just really
Rant
bugged me
has
right
spiders.
from the start.
Yeah.
Is the fact that you don't know who is who and what is what. It
Right.
says first chapter, Echo Lawrence, party crasher. I thought, okay, she's just
Ooh.
he's just some
Yeah.
dude that he crashes parties.
Ooh, well,
you don't
this
know
is
who it is. You don't
Tom,
know
you did
what
like
they
that.
do.
You did like that.
I
hated
did like
that.
that.
I
I'm with
didn't know
Jacob.
that till
I'm with
like
Jacob.
chapter
Loved
28,
it.
and then I was
Loved
like,
it.
oh, this is what it is.
This leads-
After a couple
yeah.
chapters, they're like, party crashing was mostly just driving around
Yeah.
talking, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I got a little bit of it.
You got-
Exactly.
and this was a huge part of the story.
Yeah.
Huge part. The way the book works, and this is something that I want to bring up, which is super important. Thanks for leading into it, Tom. The way the story works is like boosh, boo. The
Like
way
an
the story
explosion.
works is like you are fed no information when you go in.
No.
You got
Nothing. Not a single thing.
And they
But
carry
as you
on
get,
like you
as
know
you
what's
get
happening.
deeper and
Yeah.
deeper, you start to learn more and you get more information the entire way. Like you don't know what party crashing is the
You
first
don't know
few
what, you don't know what
chapters.
boosting peaks
You don't know
means
what boosting
at all.
peaks are. You don't know what party crashing is.
No.
You don't know who the fucking characters are talking.
You don't know what it means to be a daytimer or a nighttimer.
Yeah, you don't know any of that. Like through the audiobook especially, it says daytimer, shot onion, nightimer, party crasher. You know his name is Shot Onion, and then the next two parts are like gibberish to you at that point.
Which I hate it because as soon as I got to chapter 20 something, when it told me what it was, the first thing I want to do was I want to go back and read it from the beginning now that I know what that means.
Right?
I hate that. I want to know from the beginning. I was
so excited because this is a big thing I wanted to bring up. Was in the written form. This is the only way that it only works in like the written form, the way this book was done, because you were just revealed information. Because when you first hear about Echo Lawrence, you picture someone in your head when you're reading the book, right? And you just like have this person in your mind's eye.
Yeah.
And as the book continues, you learn more and more, and then it changes the person who existed in my head. When I first hear about Echo Lawrence, I thought some dude, because I was reading it, I thought some dude, and I was like, he has like black hair. I don't fucking know. Whatever. And as the book goes on, it's like, oh, it's a woman, and now it's a woman with black hair. And now it's a woman with black hair with a fucking crippled arm and one leg that's smaller than that.
Halfway through
which
the book.
wouldn't work in anything else unless you were purposely just being a dick. Like if you're on film, you have to either A, show that the person looks like what the person looks like, or B, you just have to change it halfway through the film, which is still like, fuck you, director.
Yeah.
You know? It's something that only works in a non-visual medium.
Right.
And I was like, fuck, this book really nails that shit. It uses the medium.
It takes advantage of the medium, which is awesome.
Writing, which is fucking sick.
Now, I love that in certain aspects. Like when we did The Giver, and they revealed...
and that's what I wanted to bring up. That Tom. I was going to run
black
into
and white world, but you can't
because as you're reading The Giver,
you assume
everything is color. And then it goes, that's color, you idiot. And then we go, fuck, he couldn't see in color this whole time. I had the same realization when I go, fuck, she had a tiny arm this whole time. Or fuck, like, these people...
She had paralysis.
Or fuck, these people are goddamn werewolf human beings.
Yeah, they're all
who are
drooling
zombies.
With USB ports in their neck.
With USB ports in their necks. I didn't know that, and I was like, shit, that's only a reveal that could work in this art form, which is sick. It could only work in a non-visual form, like writing or music, as opposed to film or comic books or paintings.
It's awesome when an author takes advantage of the fact that you can't see what's happening.
It's fantastic that the novel takes advantage of the fact that it is writing.
Yeah. The only thing that overwhelmed me is like, all right, for The Giver, it was that one instance for the whole book. Like, wow, that's a big thing. The thing about like this was
it kept
every
happening.
Character. Yeah, it kept happening over, and I got overwhelmed.
Rant
I was like,
Casey,
there's too many new things developing.
Rant suddenly has black ass teeth, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then it explains that like
new
15
things
chapters
kept
in.
popping up constantly.
I thought it was fantastic.
And in the beginning, I love that we're like going back to old podcasts, but it reminded me of the Sisters Brothers.
Which you can look up.
It reminded me of the Sisters Brothers, where it's like that one chapter where the kids writing. Yeah. When they started out writing in like that like kind of like country accent kind of thing, I really had trouble reading it in the beginning. So I had to reread Sisters two or three times.
Do you mean Sisters Brothers or do you mean
Sisters Brothers?
Or do you mean
when there was the one chapter with the
Johannes
kid writing
Cabal.
about Johannes Cabal? That's what
you mean
Johannes. It was Johannes Cabal when there was a kid writing about his thing. It was
we
like
had some liquor friends.
Oh gosh, it's all over. But like that one when it was like country friends writing kind of thing, I got really confused. I had to read a sentence two or three times to get what it was saying, and like sometimes that would kind of lose me too.
Did you have a problem with the fact that it jumped a different like person telling the story, like every like paragraph?
It did, because like with the audiobooks, you had a different voice.
That was the thing.
I was trying to create a voice, but there was like 30-something freaking voices.
A lot of voices.
So I couldn't create them all. I didn't know who was country. I didn't know who was city.
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry. Through the audiobook, we didn't have a big problem with.
So easy.
I didn't know who was female or male.
Because everybody, well, that was the thing. Like going through the beginning, Echo Lawrence sounded kind of female and a little like slurred, and then I was like, no idea. Well, this is weird. And then she's a girl. I'm like, okay. And then she was kind of gimpy, not to be offensive or anything, but it was like, ugh. It was like I always burp in the she was kind of gimpy, and it was like, oh fuck. That's why she's kind of slurred the whole time, because she's paralyzed halfway through her face.
Paralysis.
Yeah, paralysis.
Boom, get roasted.
But yeah, it only took me about 5 to 10 minutes to really get the way the book was written, and then I was just like, I have no problem digesting the narrative.
Yeah.
So the audiobook is probably the way to like digest.
I would definitely suggest listening to the audiobook as opposed to reading it,
Yeah.
it makes it just easier to comprehend.
I feel like it would be tough to do, but it could make a really great movie just because of all the ideas. And
I want to get
back.
I want to get back to that in
We'll
a bit.
get to that.
I want to
Alright.
talk about some more stuff.
All right.
I just want to say, did anyone else think Nettie Nelson was just batshit insane in the beginning of the book?
I want to go over Nettie Nelson because he was a weird fucking character. Because beginning of the book, he starts talking. You're introduced to Nettie, and it's like he's with Echo and Shot Dunyan, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're just hanging out, and they're going to Middleton, and it's like this is where Rant was born, and he's just like, don't you think that it's weird that people are different and things happened? And
A
it's like,
paleontologist found a footprint that was 500 million years
Yeah.
old.
That was
And
him
then-
saying all
That
that?
was
Yeah.
Nettie Nelson, and you're
And
like,
then-
and I'm like, this guy's fucking
yeah,
insane.
fuck this guy. And then you get like 20 chapters deep, and he meets Nettie Nelson, and he like gives him money, and he's like, Rant was the nicest guy. He gave me fucking money to buy a car.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, a few chapters later, again, he's like, do you know who historians are, motherfucker? Do you know? Of course,
Fight the power.
The magic people can run everything.
Please
La, la,
explain
la,
to
la.
me, what are historians? I'm still sort of confused on the fact.
From
on
what
that
I can
idea.
gather from the
They're
book,
Time Lords.
historians are
They're
Time
Doctor
Lords.
Who's.
Yeah.
They're
They're Doctor
All
Who's.
right.
They're people who go through time.
We just
know
got 3
things,
new fans.
and
Doctor
keep
Who.
doing it. Like that's 100%,
Yeah.
Jacob. They're Doctor Who. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
good way to
they're
fucking
yeah,
word it.
they're just people who have transcended time and control the world outside of time and are
all right.
assholes.
So, which I thought it was an interesting how they brought up the
Which-
whole fact that it's similar to the Holy Trinity. The fact that
I
it's
wanted,
Rant,
yeah.
Chester,
Rant,
Green,
Chester,
Sims,
and
Taylor.
Green Taylor Sims. Because
Taylor,
before we get into that,
Jazz
let's say
hands.
this real quick. A big deal was Green Taylor Sims was quote unquote the alpha time traveler, traveled back in time and created offspring that would make him in turn stronger.
Yeah. Started with
And
Esther, the great-grandmother.
And the offspring is apparently, according to the story, Buster Casey, which is Rant, and his father Chester Casey. They are both offsprings of Green Taylor Sims. And he
Is Chester? I thought Chester was just Rant who came back to save his mother after.
Okay,
after
well,
okay,
that's
Green
a big.
Taylor
okay,
Sims
we have a lot of
immigrated.
time travel
Okay,
shit.
okay.
I need a visual.
No, I got this. Green Taylor Sims is Charles Casey,
Yeah.
the original Casey,
The one who crashed into
the one who accidentally
Echo Lawrence's mother and father's car.
because they wanted to travel through time
Yep.
to go.
I
to
thought the same thing.
yes,
I thought the same
that's-
thing.
You're
Which-
right.
Do you think Echo ever finds out that like Rant, Chester, all that was
They
actually
don't.
the
They
cause?
don't tell you.
I
It's
want to talk
possible.
about that. Finish your thing first.
Okay. Green Taylor Sims is Charles Casey, who they mentioned like once.
Yeah.
He is quote unquote Rant's uncle.
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah.
Rant's real father,
Father.
quote unquote.
Yeah.
We have
But
a lot of emphasis
Yeah.
on
He- the bunny
words.
Fucking let me get on my notes if we're getting into this right now. All
All
right.
right. So Chester,
Green Taylor
mention
Sims
one.
is Charles Casey.
We may run a little long on this
Yes.
because it's weird.
This is gonna go long. Charles Casey is the original timeline where he went to the city and got a job testing traffic
I'm good with that.
by testing cars where the testers, the testers are the people who originally discovered the time travel was possible.
Yeah.
Which is why they were doing crashes
By crash because
outside
they
of work.
were crashing cars for the government to find out why people looked at them.
But then they just-
found out time travel is possible.
yes.
I need this as a visual. I did not get that,
Yes.
but it
Yeah.
makes sense
And-
now.
and that yes.
I like that
exactly.
we're like making the book better for you.
You are making the
And-
book
but-
better.
but they
I
were
was really
keeping it-
pissed
but-
in the
Yeah.
But they kept the secret, obviously. And Echo's parents tried to crash into him
Because
time travel.
as humans, they're greedy assholes.
Well, they were saying that they wanted to go somewhere where the air wasn't polluted and there was land all around, and the only
Yeah.
place they could find that was in the past.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Because there's no ICU Act and no segregation of peoples.
and all of the test crashers
Super weird.
had the same kind of car, so they knew that Charles was a crasher. So they're like, we're gonna crash into him. We're gonna time travel. It's gonna be great. They failed. They died. Charles Casey accidentally traveled through time.
well, those two people, Echo Lawrence's mother and father,
Yes.
fucked up, died, and then she got crippled as
and
fuck.
she got crippled in that accident.
Meanwhile,
Charles Casey accidentally travels through time, finds his grandma. She's like, "Hey, you want to bang?" He's like, "I'll take
Yeah.
gas." They bang. He's like, "Whoa, I got stronger."
which this case you're talking about, also presumably Green Taylor Sims.
Yeah.
yeah, Charles Casey is Green Taylor Sims.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
fuck, where was
He
it?
Lost
fucks
it.
he fucks his
He
grandmother.
fucks his ancestors.
And then he's like,
to become
what time
stronger.
is it? And she's like, it's super late. And he's like, oh shit. And then fucks
He's
up
like,
the time.
he's like, well, I'm back in
When-
time, but if I keep banging my ancestors,
Which,
I'll get stronger.
right after he fucked his great grandmother, he immediately felt stronger. He could smell better. He could taste better. All of his senses were like heightened.
A question I was wondering, why does he always go back to right when they turn 13? Like right on.
That's just him being a weird fucker.
That's like him trying to get to them before they
before
they meet their the real father.
And he's always too late because
they
it's time
hit puberty
itself.
and they can have children.
Yeah, it's just Green banging them before they can.
Did
bang
you know
the
you can
real
have
father.
children as young as like 8 or 9 years old?
Yeah, it's
weird.
It's super gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Green schemes to just bang his ancestors, and then eventually, when he is finally born, he'll kill his mother. Then
thus relieving the timeline,
becoming the ultimate god, basically. But what happens is he bangs Irene Casey, who is his mother.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Chet Casey shows up, who is Rant 1.
Yeah. Rant Uno.
Rant 1, who went back in time to try to stop Green Taylor Sims, a.k.a. Charles Casey, from doing all of this and killing his mom. But he's too late. He still was able to bang Irene, so Chester Casey protects Irene Casey.
To make sure she does not die.
That's why he's there. He's like, I failed to stop Charles from having sex with her, so now I'm just going to protect her so she will live, and I'm going to protect and cultivate Rant in an attempt to make him able to save her.
Able to save Irene.
That's why he tells Rant when he leaves, you come back when it's time to save your mother. You'll know just before it's too late, because every time someone goes back in time, it's similar to Back to the Future logic. It's a parallel universe, but there's not the universe you left no longer exists.
Yeah.
You create a new universe. It's parallel universe.
It's a branching timeline.
It's a branching timeline, but there's just the one. So you branch off, and the one you left is gone. It's just a new one that
Fuck
you've
that,
made.
not important.
Yeah, you left it. You're the only thing from that timeline.
So what happens is Chester ends up marrying Irene, who is actually his mother.
Yes.
And lives with her and raises Rant, but the timeline splinters, so Rant acts differently than Chester did as a child.
And proof of this is
does he?
Yes, proof of this in the book is when Rant plays pranks on his father Chester.
Right, the fucking eggs.
The
fucking blow because if Chester was Rant, he would have known of the eggs, but he didn't.
Chester knew that this was a new timeline, and the Rant could make his own fate that would be different from his own. Because Chester, his father, didn't know about 1, the eggs, 2, he did not know about the ink that Rant put in his underwear that he made red.
Yeah, that made him think that he had a bladder infection.
Yeah.
Did he not know, or did he just do it to perpetuate
the thing.
history?
That's the thing. We don't know. But the fact is, why would someone spend so much money? Because it says specifically in the book that Chester went to the doctor multiple times.
When has money ever been a problem
so much money?
For them? Is money a problem for them?
Money is not a problem.
But Chester knew. That's why he told Rant, come back to save your mom.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have.
He was telling him that to perpetuate history, though, because he knew he would not end up in time.
But
because he can't be there in time, it's
right,
impossible.
So
he would always be just too late.
So he's telling Rant, no, but he thinks that Rant has a chance. Because
every time here's the problem. Since there's so much fucking time warp,
this is like talking about Star Trek all over again.
Every time time splinters into another point, you can do whatever.
I have a note about why I think Rant succeeded. That's why I wrote it down, because I'm too drunk to remember.
You can do whatever you want in your splinter. So when Chester tells Rant, he's like, "Hey, save your mom," it's because he knows that Rant may end up, early enough to save his mother from the fate.
Right. Here's the thing.
There.
Okay.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Okay. Number 1, there's an account from the book.
In a hot tub.
We're a little long.
Okay.
Sorry.
There is an account from the book where Irene, probably my least favorite chapter, where Irene describes Green Taylor
how
Sims,
she was fucked by basically what we assume is Green Taylor Sims.
Charles Casey / Green Taylor Sims.
Yeah.
He rapes her basically, which is, I did not enjoy that chapter. But
it wasn't. All right, honestly though, speaking of old things, it wasn't as bad after 50 Shades of Grey, right? Like nothing's as
Right.
bad anymore. Nothing's
That
as
was
bad
not.
after
I
that
did not
book.
get a boner, regardless of how many black widows bit my
Yeah.
dick.
But she gives
It seems so mild to me now.
Irene gives a full account of what happened,
That was a
but
good one.
she also gives an account of saying that she does not remember how she conceived Rant.
Yeah.
And it is
Yeah.
established by what's the fuck's her name? Tina something.
yeah.
She establishes that she was the girlfriend of Waxman, who Waxman
Yeah.
he resolved his origin, killed his parents, became above time.
100%.
He became
a
a
Doctor
quote
Who.
unquote god. And Tina something was like, I guarantee you, come and ask me in a couple of months about Waxman.
I wanna know who
I
he
wanna know
is.
who the fuck that is.
Yeah, who is that?
There you go.
That I want to bring that. I want to bring that up real quick.
That makes me think of time as in like, oh,
Whoa.
come on. Jake's that
Get a
guy.
towel, you
It
fucking
makes me
dork.
think of time as like a drop in a bucket of water where it takes waves to get to it. Like it's not an instantaneous thing. Like it'll
Right.
take time for her
So
to forget
people who
who
have
this is.
interacted with with like that person who traveled through time, they might. That's why Chester didn't know immediately when Rant disappeared. He didn't know immediately that Rant had succeeded, but
Yeah.
eventually he knew
Yeah.
Rant did it. Irene is safe. That's why Chester left to be with Echo. That's why he
Ooh.
left.
That's
he
why-
knew,
that's
he knew
why you
Irene
think-
was safe. Rant succeeded.
He
did it.
Did he? She's
That's
pregnant.
that's a thoughtful because that's the thing I want to bring up.
Happy ending for me.
Because we don't know what happened. Yeah, thanks for knocking over more shit, Jake.
Come on,
I'm
Jesus
a piece
Christ.
of shit.
I like to pretend he's in a hot tub.
Because
Look at
we
this.
don't know.
Look at
We
that.
don't know Rant, but Chuck Palahniuk. We don't know
I like it.
if Rant succeeded, if Green Taylor Sim
that.
succeeded in stopping him,
Rant inside.
or if Chester stopped anything that happened. Because as of the last chapter, which is the contributors
Yeah.
page,
Which it reminded. Well, the first thing that came to mind was Animal House because they did the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the whole, where are
I
they
have,
now?
I have notes to say about that as well.
we're kind of deep in the thing right now, so I don't know how deep you want to go.
Can I
with
tell
it.
you guys first? Like
It'll take a few seconds.
Okay.
You are so not talking into your
contributors
mic.
page. I'll go over this real quick. Contributors page. So we're given to the contributors page.
Yes.
What happened to everybody? Most of them, fine, whatever. Shot Dunyan. We don't know what happened to him.
Time
Main
Lord.
character. Time Lord.
Yeah.
He's a Doctor Who.
Echo, don't know what happened to her.
Echo?
Time Lord.
No. That's last. Ned Nelson.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened to him because he was with Rant's father who disappeared. Green Taylor Sims disappeared. Rant disappeared.
Yeah.
Echo Lawrence not brought up in the entirety
Of the contributor page.
of the contributor page.
She's in the contributor page. I
She's
guarantee
not.
It was
Her
brought-
name's
it was-
not in there.
It was
I will-
brought
I
up
will
in my
bring it
auto
up.
version. It
was
was
what?
brought up in my
Bring-
auto version.
Bring it
She's
on.
not-
She's
she's
there.
not in the- she's not
there.
in the
I
written
guarantee
thing.
you, she's in there because I saw her and it says something about she just disappeared kind of thing.
Echo Lawrence
I
is
could almost-
not in my written section.
In my audio version, it says Echo Lawrence missing, presumed immortal.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Mine definitely said something. It was towards the beginning. I thought. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
A B C D E F G H I J K
L M N O P Q R S T
Here
U V
in my written
WX.
version,
Okay.
Brenda Jordan, Leaf Jordan, Alfred Lynch, Canada Mercer.
Let me see.
No Lawrence.
I swear there's a Lawrence in here.
There's not.
All right, let's see.
Here's a cool idea.
you're drunk.
Here's a cool idea I found online.
You're drunk. There's no Lawrence.
I'm not saying the book doesn't say it. I'm saying the audio version says that Echo Lawrence went missing, presumed immortal.
She is not in this written version.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna find it
But-
right now.
They did mention this in the book that I think it was Nettie Nelson who said it.
Yeah.
That what the fuck was it? That
You're gonna look like a fool if you don't know right now.
from one reality
We're slightly long. I'm sorry.
that
Gosh, I want to find this so bad.
that this book, all of the
I want you to try and find it because she's not in this goddamn book.
now
She's
okay,
here.
Okay, you look. Okay, this book is presented as a non-fiction account from people as of real events, but it has turned fiction because Echo Lawrence turned Snacko.
Right. That's what
turned
I want to
Snacko.
say.
Nelson went back in time, changed it, and we're living in their new reality.
Exactly.
Oh!
Echo, Nettie, and Shot all went back in time. Fucked their shit
They
up.
changed the things that
so
they
no
wanted to
longer
change.
can you boost peaks.
Yeah,
No longer
Jock
are.
Dungeon stop boost peaks.
Yeah, and Echo wanted to live in a world that was with Sunshine, you do what you want.
Yes.
All right,
And
that's
then
pretty cool.
And
That's
Nettie
pretty
wanted
cool.
Nettie wanted to live in a world where the
ICU Act
ICU Act did
never
not
happened.
exist.
So they
exactly.
made our new
so
reality.
That is now. So this
And-
is a non-fiction but subtle fiction of a timeline that is branched off from the other ones that doesn't exist anymore, because as it is explained in this story, time is not just a singularity.
Yes.
It branches off. So we live in a branched off timeline where the things they wanted to accomplish have accomplished.
And they collected these accounts and gave them to us so that we could know about it.
That's what I got. Now here's the thing. I want to ask you guys, who collected these accounts?
I'm going to say Echo.
Tom, what do you say?
You guys are making this book sound way better than when I initially thought it. You guys are. It sounds way cooler when you say it.
Tom, who do you think collected
the more
these
you
accounts?
think about this book, the better it is.
I thought so much about this. I was like, this book is fucking sweet, and that's why I was sad why you didn't like it. But now you're starting to like it, and I was like, oh shit!
It's starting to make more sense the way you say it.
Tom, who did you think collected these accounts from all these people? Because somebody had to interview them.
I honestly originally thought, when I first saw the names, I thought it was Green Taylor Sims, just because it says from the field diary of Green Taylor Sims. For some reason, that made me connect it with the person who collected all these.
I assumed he was dead for like half the book.
Well, I got that at the end when he dismisses Rant as a person.
Yeah.
He's just like, fuck that asshole. I wish I never met him.
But then Nettie's like, he would say that.
Yeah, and Nettie's like, he would say that, and then Echo's like, then he lit a mattress on fire and like crashed his car.
Yeah.
And because you guys say that Echo is in the story, but she is not in my written version, I think
That would
she
make
read
it. I like that.
Yeah, I think that everybody else is attributed. Shot Dunyan, Nettie Nelson, they're all attributed as contributed.
Can I say, because I only did the audiobook for a lot of the book, it sounded, from the way the audiobook is presented, it sounded like Shock Dunyan's name was Chopped Onion.
Chopped Onion.
Chopped Onion.
Like just Chopped Onion. I'm like, what kind of fucking name is that?
See, it was made up for the book.
Can we? I had this question. Who's your favorite character from the book? Who's your favorite character?
I would say Chet. I would say Chester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I liked
why?
it, especially right from the first chapter.
Oh,
He just seemed
right where he's on the
He
plane?
seemed like a rock star.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
I don't remember his
Except
name.
with shit on his fucking
Yeah,
hands.
with shit on his boots and his hands.
I don't remember his name. It was okay, there was a short period where two girls were talking about how they were party crashing after Rant had left and he became like this legend. And one girl was just like, I got my rabies from Rant. I love Rant.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and they were like
girl.
hanging with this dude who was just like banging one of the chicks.
Yeah.
And he was just like, whatever. I just told him I have rabies.
Just to
So
get
Greg
clean
something.
tail.
Yeah,
It was
Clean
Greg
tail.
free
something.
tail. Whatever,
Yeah.
man. That guy.
It was
Greg-
clean tail.
Jake's favorite character is the guy who's just like banging chicks for no reason. He was like, yeah, I lied about having rabies and wanted to
he
fuck.
had no like relevance in the plot. He was just a douchebag.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Can I tell you, I have two favorite sections of the book.
Well,
First
one
off-
sec. Let me tell mine.
All right, yeah, tell you. Sorry.
Shot Dunyan. I like
He's
Shot
pretty
Dunyan.
cool. He's
I like
pretty
Shot
cool.
Dunyan because like his whole thing was just like, yeah, I like the party crashing. It was fun, and it was like hinted at towards the end that he may have gone through time, especially because of the contributors page.
Yeah.
But like, I like that he was just like, yeah, I just like the party crashing, hanging with my bros, and
What's his real name? Christopher, right?
Yeah, it was like
Something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't
just
shot
It
initially.
never told why he
yeah.
was shot. But
And then
shot
he was-
Dunyan.
And he was like just like this like hipster peak
Yeah,
booster.
he was just like I like really liked like what was essentially the film of their
Yeah.
time, which is boosting peaks. And he's just like, I really like that. I went hard into it. And I tried to go like deep into it. It
But
was
they-
too deep.
But the commercial mainstream
yeah, it
didn't
wasn't.
like my
it wasn't
vibe.
viable commercially.
They talked about it later, and they were talking about how like he's more the like the author, like the auteur of it, the artist
Yeah,
of it.
the
But he doesn't know
auteur.
exactly how it might work. Which makes sense. Like, do you ever think about shit like, I have no idea how my fucking cell phone works. It just does, right?
If I was thrown back in time, I'd be fucked.
I
Yeah.
couldn't invent anything.
And so I was like,
I have ideas,
I think I could get aeronautics off the ground. I have a,
I'd be hard pressed.
Yeah.
if I could get in a position like Leonardo, if I wasn't fucking burned at the stake, I could figure it out.
Yeah.
I could figure it
It
out.
depends
So,
how far back you go.
I
too,
like
yeah.
really like Shot Dunyan, especially because like towards the end he was just like yeah, whatever. I mean, like if I can't boost peaks anymore because I got rabies, whatever. So I like to imagine, because what we said, Jacob,
Yes.
where both he went back in time Echo Lawrence went back in time, and Nettie Nelson went back in time, and they created the reality that we live in.
Yes.
It's like Shot Daniel went back in time, made it where nobody boost peaks because he can't anymore, and also made his dog live and lived his life.
Sandy the pug.
Sandy the pug.
Favorite character.
Yeah.
Can I just say, like the stuff I did like a lot of research on like fan theories on what people thought the time theory was, and I took like what I thought made sense, and your theory of what you just thought happened perfectly lined up.
Yeah.
With the best
I'm
of
smart
what
as shit, idiot.
it was just the best of what I could find into what made logical sense, and you just nailed it. So congratulations.
Fucking solid. We're at 59 right now. Should we keep discussing?
It makes me sad about Sandy the pug because his whole chapter
Sandy
about
the
like
pug.
I'm an idiot. I wrapped it in a cloth and bashed it against the wall.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot.
And he's like, I spit in the toilet and I didn't think spit had rabies in it, and then she drinks from the toilet. Shit.
I think it was really cool how it was like Green Taylor Sims accounts where it's like he said he was a historian and he was like, oh, he's just a historian.
He's just recalling the things.
And then Nettie's like, historians are these fucking time lords.
35, 40 chapters, and you're like, they're goddamn fucking. They live forever, and then you're like, what? He's like, you don't want me to tell you your stories because he'll die, and I'm like,
It's just so crazy. Like every chapter you go closer to the end, like after like 30, you're just like, oh shit. So many more things are just like revealed in your mind.
There were so many like open. Oh shit!
Yeah, there were two. Can I tell you the two lines I appreciated the most?
Yeah,
right,
please.
First off, there was one line that some teacher of Rant said, "Money you don't work to earn, you spend very quickly." That is so true.
That's deep as fuck.
That is so true.
Yeah.
All right, and then second off, there was this little a couple sentences here. Everyone gave a different name to everyone else.
Yeah.
Buster was Rant was Buddy. Chester was Chet was Dad. Irene was Mom was Reen. How folks lay claim to a loved one is they give you a name of their own. They figure to label you as their property. Isn't that the whole point that people calling each other like babe and stuff like that? And baby and stuff.
Exactly.
They label you as their property.
And that's
so true.
That's something that Chuck Palahniuk does in like a lot of his stories. It's like it's fiction, but it represents aspects of real life. Mm-hmm. It's super weird. I wanted to bring up. We're running long already, obviously. But
I mean,
this book is weird as fuck.
It's super crazy.
I have two questions I want to ask you guys.
Ask away.
Okay, so A, do you think Rant is dead after he transfers to
No.
It's hard to say what's dead and alive in this book because of time, perpetuity, and...
I mean, as I said earlier, I think Rant succeeded because that's why
my poor drink.
After Rant left, after a little while, Chester realized he became the new Rant. It was like, I have succeeded. I can now go be with Echo.
Yeah.
Irene, you were a wonderful mother.
You did your best. You did your best. That's what mothers do. They do their best.
The girl who emerged from the train crash, do you think that was Tina something?
That's so open-ended. It could have just been like...
Because she was mentioned in the contributors page that she crashed
But by then she said she's 16 years old.
It said she crashed into something, and the woman who reveals herself from that train crash when Tina something's hanging out with Wax is just like, she's a beautiful woman with like short hair or whatever, and she just smiles and laughs and then hangs out with Wax, and that's it. It's not mentioned like anything besides that.
It could have been
think
Tina.
It was her.
It definitely could have been. I mean, it's left really open ended to where it's left.
It really is. It's the contributors page who kills me.
I did like how Tina something when Wax was just like, I've done it. I've now transcended time. Get in the car with me. And she's like, fuck you. You're like, no.
You're a crazy man.
No, she believed him. She was just like, you're just gonna get me killed because you don't care about life anymore.
Yeah.
But then as she's like telling her story later, she's just like, yeah, I'll definitely get in the car. I want to be immortal.
Here's the line, contributors. Yeah. Tina something, night timer, party crasher, was last seen entering a Dodge Viper, which later crashed, exploding against the side of a freight train.
Oh,
emergency
that was definitely
responders
Tina.
Found no one alive or dead at the scene.
Because it was a train crash.
Right?
That was definitely
And now
Tina.
I'm just sitting there, I'm like, shit. So like future Tina is hanging out in front of past Tina, and I'm like, God, fuck this book.
The more you talk about it, so who do you think was the one who compiled all this stuff?
I think it was Echo Lawrence.
Echo.
Yeah, it must be because she's the only one not in the contributors page.
She's not
right?
in the contributors page.
Which threw me off
That
because
makes
in
sense.
the audio version she is.
Yeah. So she's not in mine.
Which even makes me think more that it's Echo.
It makes me think how she changed the future since Jake listened to the
And
audiobook.
that-
In a month,
shit!
you're not even going to remember that. You're not even going to remember it.
That's such a scary idea that when someone goes back in time and changes something,
Yeah.
that just becomes your new reality. And it's like,
I would-
yeah, the sky was always blurpleberry.
So that-
I would
Blurpleberry.
rather, I would
like, it's
rather
just
it
like-
be instant than that whole like, oh, I might not forget it in a week or a month or something.
So,
I'd rather just
so
be
you're
instant.
on the same wavelength as me right
Yeah.
now. That Shot and Echo and Nettie went back in time.
They had all these
edited
problems
this-
they thought should be changed, and they learned from Rant and did it.
Yeah. Oh, that's where I was. That was a talking point I had.
Yeah,
So
totally.
fucking rad.
Yeah.
I like it.
Me and you, bam,
All right,
wavelength.
Is it
Wow,
not
wow.
time yet, or is it time yet to talk about how this would be a great movie?
I think it's time now.
Oh, movie.
To peep. Oh, you want to talk about a movie before I PP?
I think it
I'll
would
PP
be
after the movie.
I think this would be a great movie. And first off, you enjoyed the book, right?
Yes.
If you enjoy this book,
Well, here's the thing. Let's say that
oh,
real
yeah.
quick. Did you enjoy the story, Jacob?
Yes.
Tom.
after the podcast, I very much enjoyed the
But
story.
before the
I did
podcast-
not.
Before
I did not enjoy the experience of
So
reading the book.
discussing it with us made it
But
more.
after finishing the book and discussing it with you, I enjoy it a lot more now.
Great.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Great
That's
book
sweet.
club book.
Yeah, it's a great
So
book
sweet.
club book.
I really liked it because like Jacob, I was thinking.
It's just like the
super
more you
deep.
think about it,
Yeah.
the better
Yeah.
it gets.
I was like super
and
deep.
like,
into
I
it.
looked at the symbol in the Kindle versus the book. It looks more like a sun. It makes a lot more sense in the book.
Okay.
Maybe it was the
Ooh.
Kindle
And,
that was a different
lot,
approach to
and
it.
I
don't
feel
know.
like a lot had to do with listening to the audiobook.
Yeah. Hearing
Because
the voices.
yeah,
It
hearing,
made it so
well,
easy.
hearing the voices and people saying nightimer party crasher as opposed to moon symbol party crasher
Right.
Yeah.
in the story.
If you enjoy this book, I severely, not just highly, but
Severely.
severely recommend the movie Predestination. It just came out with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah?
Ooh.
It is frighteningly similar to this book.
Oh.
If you enjoyed this book, you will really like the movie Predestination. I guarantee you.
I'm gonna devote
Very,
the next
like,
5
weird
minutes.
time
Fuck
traveling
it. We
elements.
don't care. We're gonna go long because this book was
Yeah.
really crazy. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
I
not-
did not know what this book was about
We're
when I
gonna
picked
take
it.
a
No,
short
no,
pee-pee break.
we went in blind
No.
as hell.
Yeah.
I went blind as fuck. Right before we go into the next section, James Franco
Yeah?
has optioned the rights to this book as a film. What do you think of that, Tom?
Wait, is he going? Is
As
he
of-
trying to play
as
Rant
of-
Lawrence?
Well, here's
Or
the thing.
Is he trying to play
As
Rant?
he has
Rant
optioned
Casey?
the rights to this film
Yeah.
as of September of 2014.
Oh,
So literally
recently.
months ago.
Oh,
So
wow.
we don't know if he's going to produce it, direct it, because he's directed a couple, or act in it, or all three. We don't know what he's going to do.
All right, is it? It's weird.
How do you see this as a film?
It's weird that I can see him with straight like jet black teeth.
I can see that.
I can see that,
Totally.
right?
I can
Yeah.
totally see that.
Yeah.
But
I can
here's
see
the
him as
thing.
Rant.
Like we said, this book takes great advantage of the fact that you
Yeah.
can't see it.
100%.
And I feel like the movie will lose so much of
It's
that.
from reading the book, I'm going to lose a lot of the feeling
Yes.
that like when like my just like realization that oh fuck, Echo Lawrence is a girl, B has gimp arms, C is just like a completely different person, or Rant Casey looks completely different than like what I imagined him
Yeah.
initially.
And just like us not knowing what party crashing is and all
You're-
these things.
You can't do that in a visual medium.
How would you show it? Would you show it maybe a black screen with the words like Echo Lawrence Party Crash and then fade in a picture of her
Absolutely
talking?
not. That's too like blunt force. Like
Yeah.
that's not like
Here's the thing.
cinematic.
The only
Here's
way
the thing.
I can
You
think
can
of
turn
doing
it all
it,
narrative.
I
I'm gonna-
guarantee you there is a way that this book will beautifully like transcend a film. But
So you think it would cut
I don't
straight to an
think
image
any
of them
us
in the car?
know- I don't think any of us know
The
that
only way I can think of
This is
doing
like
it.
I know it.
This is
The-
like memento.
I'm a
shit.
time traveler.
The only he's a historian. The only way I can think of doing it is you present like Echo as a person, and then she progressively changes throughout the film,
That'd be interesting.
which doesn't have the same feel.
No.
Because it's not gonna have the same punch to your like.
That reminds
just,
me. You
like-
know what would be really interesting is what was the last movie?
Same with Rant
Heath Ledger
though.
was
Oh,
in?
They
The
could.
last- where it changed
Imaginarium.
actors. What if it was a movie where like the actor itself for that character changed actors throughout the thing?
Yeah,
Maybe it started
the
as a man,
Imaginarium.
and then it turned into a female, and
They-
they turned into
they
a different
could do
female. That'd be really interesting.
They could do a thing because Echo was always the driver for party crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could do a thing where her left side is numb, but she's always like looking
Oh,
over
yeah,
her
doesn't
right
look
shoulder
over.
to talk, and they do a lot of her stuff in her and the shotgun shooting from the back, so you can't really see it.
You can't.
This is
you can't
also
tell.
interesting.
Yeah. Right? I told you this book
And
was
then,
good.
and then like Rant and her.
It's a book club
and
book.
Rant's
Yeah.
always,
It's a
and
book
Rant's
club
always
book.
sitting in the back when they interact, and then they finally do the scene where
James
they're
Franco.
where they're sitting together in
Yeah.
the front, and they start to romantically like intertwine, and then she finally like turns and faces him, and then you see half her
Rabies.
face is numb.
Yeah,
That'd be
there
such
it
an
is,
awesome
there it is.
reveal. That would
Rabies.
be so fucking great. James Franco, get on that.
I hope
Get on this,
All
James.
right, I can almost guarantee you James Franco is a listener, right? I can almost guarantee
Like
you.
100%.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I think that's
I wanna run
that's
that-
a good idea.
We got this discussion's going so long.
right,
It's
all right,
like
all
so
right,
good.
All right, potty break.
Right?
Potty break.
We're going to potty break in a second. I just want to run through my pros and cons real
All right,
quick.
real
in the book.
quick.
Because we
I'll
said
try not to interject too much.
pros. I thought this book took advantage of the art form it was
Yes,
done in.
absolutely.
Fantastic. It started weird and then got progressively weirder, which kept me super interested.
Yes.
All right.
A lot of the way through. Cons. The time travel aspect, it was kind of just like thrown in
The
halfway
moment
through.
it was like thrown at you, it really threw you off. But slowly, as they explained more
It
and more,
added through,
It did.
but I was still confused as to why many of the main characters, aka Shot,
Yes.
Echo, Nitty, just knew so much about it.
I feel like
because
now,
because
now that we've gone over it, but it was there was a point in the book where they were just like, yeah, this is a thing people go through time.
I feel like because it was like interview, they just like it was edited in a way. Like
Yeah.
you can edit an
Yeah.
interview
Yeah,
to like where
it's still-
it puts that information later.
But when Chuck was writing this, he could have done it any way he wanted.
Absolutely.
And it's like he went like specifically Nettie. Nettie's going from like at the beginning of the book, he goes, "Hey, yeah, Rant's the best." It doesn't show up for
Yes,
10 chapters.
yes.
Yeah.
Then it's suddenly like he gave me money and I bought my next car. And then like almost 3 chapters later, it's just like time travel, time lord. God damn it!
I agree, that was a little weird.
It was jarring.
Yeah.
It was jarring. So like it could have been written a little better.
Apparently, M. Night Shyamalan books over here.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what.
there were. I like the book. There were
good.
parts to
Good book.
improve.
Good
There were
book.
parts to
Yeah,
improve.
it reminded me of Cloud Atlas, where you're jumping around so much, you get
Yeah.
a little confused, which is why I think it's a great for
we
like a
still
film
need to
medium.
see Cloud Atlas. Tristan,
I've
continue.
seen it. Me and Ian saw it.
Tristan, continue.
we gotta watch. Oh, that's those are my main.
Again,
Like,
it jumps
positive-
around so much.
Positive is weird and it kept my interest. Negatives, it like kind of slant. It was like the time travel came in real unexpectedly
Yeah.
halfway through and
that's-
just like slammed in your
that's
shit.
That's a big fucking thing to just
Yeah.
go like this book was grounded in very much reality all throughout, and then they're
Yeah.
like and time travel
And time travel thrown in your face about 23 chapters in. Everybody at that point, written from like that point on, is just like
Time travel.
Yeah, def. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
okay.
what?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So like you could have like subtly run into it, or like showed us the characters' ways of thinking at that point or something. You know? Like,
I mean,
towards that.
honestly, I'm not sure how you could have written it to be like less weird.
Well, no, it'd still be weird, but like you could have gradually run into it more.
I don't
Like-
know how. I mean, like heavier
Well,
foreshadowing
like
as you got closer.
again, as we just said, Nettie, point A, oh yeah, time travel weird. Point B, oh yeah, he gave me a car. Point C, fucking Illuminati, yeah.
like switch them a little bit.
Yeah, like just like
Like,
had
as-
more
like-
transition.
Like as it got closer to the reveal, it like heavier foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Okay, I get
just,
that.
Just more transition, more
Totally.
foreshadowing, more like lead into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or-
Okay. I can agree with that.
Within the last drink, I just completely lost where the conversation was going.
I spilled like
I think that's the perfect time that we just laugh on cue, cut out, piss, and then come back and give
the
our
cue.
alternates.
Give me the cue.
You beautiful. Where'd all of our booze go? Fuck.
I spilled mine. I spilled
They're
mine.
all-
I remember that. That was
empty.
funny. Hey, welcome back to Black. We had to pee. We're sorry.
So bad.
We're drunk. This was a weird book. We're reading Rant, and shit. Do you guys want to give your alternate endings and
Yes.
or alternative takes?
Yes.
I would love that shit right now.
Cool.
That's what we do on this podcast.
My God.
I love that we don't do like air horn sounds anymore. We just yell out of our
I
mouths.
did an air horn sound effect like once in one video.
Big
And now
mistake.
we just yell it.
We just go down. Oh, Jake, take it.
Taking it
Jake,
away.
first
So
off-
we're gonna do alternate take. This is the part of the podcast where we kind of like just freeform it. Do your own take, sequel, whatever.
Yes. How
Like-
either our alternate ending or how we think the sequel could go.
Yeah.
Now this book does not have a sequel at this point.
At this point, which
might be.
Which I want to say this real quick. On Wikipedia, it says there's going to be one.
Okay.
So
Well, as of this recording, it hasn't come
Nothing.
out or anything.
No.
So
Alright.
I
no,
did not throw my glasses on the table.
I did. They landed perfectly around my little skeleton bones.
I
I
did.
love him. He's like in a hot tub. I tried to perch him like he's like, I'm just relaxing.
I did, however.
Hey, bros.
I did, however,
What's up?
write a sequel.
Tell me about
Whoa, to the story.
Not a true sequel.
it. Do you mind if I start since mine's the shittiest?
Go for it.
Okay.
I wrote
So-
a sequel. Do you mind if I start because mine sucks dicks? Yeah.
In mine, Rant is actually Tom Arnold, which explains if you've ever seen The Stupids, it explains why he is his own grandpa. All right, let me start at the beginning. Many years ago when he was 23, he met a lady that was pretty as can be, Irene. All right, from there, just
He
watch
met a
The
lady that was pretty as can
Stupids. Just watch The Stupids, and it reiterates the whole story.
Are you fucking
All right,
Are you
now
done?
Jake, please go. Because that's all I've got. That's all I've got. All
Somebody
right.
finished the book literally today.
Yes. Roughly a half hour before
Tom did
the
it.
time of the podcast.
And he wanted it to be today. He requested it.
I requested this.
This is his fault.
My fault, and I apologize.
Okay.
Tell me the sequel.
All right. My sequel is more. It's more of a spin-off,
Right.
an expanded universe, if you will, where it follows the historians / Time Lords
Ooh.
Doctor
yeah, the
Who's.
Doctor Who's.
that Nettie Nelson alludes to.
I don't have anything to drink.
Me neither. It's
Ah,
so sad.
fuck.
Sad
Fucking
day.
Keep going.
All right. It follows the historians that Nettie Nelson alludes to when he talks about the paleontologists that find
That's-
500 million year old shoe prints
Yeah.
and shit like
Like
that.
way early in the book too.
So yeah, it's like one throwaway line.
Yeah.
But this book follows. It's kind of like a short story compendium following different historians as they either purposefully or accidentally get thrown back in time anywhere from 50 to 500 million years ago, and it follows their exploits throughout time.
Yeah.
And with an overarching plot of a mysterious time traveler seeking to kill the other historians.
You just blew my
Do you
gosh
remember,
darn
do you
mind.
remember when Jacob said his was gonna be short and he
Yeah.
already took 2 minutes to explain it?
Well, that's
Was
'cause
that 2? It felt like 10.
You guys kept interrupting. It was
We
like
didn't interrupt shit.
it was like a minute.
Fuck you. I'll run to the clock.
Jake, my attention span is this big right now.
The size of your dick.
Say
Yeah.
your thing. Say
No,
your thing.
my dick is
I'm done.
this
That was
big.
it.
What?
I loved it.
Why are you making fun of me? You.
I thought that was a build up to your story.
What are you talking about?
I didn't know he started already.
I liked it.
I loved it.
It was great.
2 thumbs up.
I was having fun up until this point. You guys ruined it. I thought that was a good thing. That was a good
I
idea.
literally didn't pay any attention because I
Jake,
thought it was a build up to
honestly,
what you were
it's the
actually going to
best
say.
idea.
I was
so far.
literally explaining you what my sequel was.
It's better than Tom Arnold.
Write in the comments below. These guys are assholes. Just write that.
Here's my ending.
All right.
All right, motherfuckers. I have an alternate ending.
Bada boop bap boop. I'm Tristan.
Here-
Just saying shit while you're trying to explain.
Boosh! Ha!
Lance Armstrong.
Tom
We
Arnold.
join Rant Casey as he attempts to stop Green Taylor's sins from attacking his mother, presumably killing her. A brutal battle ensues. Rant is thrown down onto the ground, slightly dazed. Green shouts, "There's nothing you can do to stop this, Buster. I'm practically now a god." No! Shouts Rant from his weakened state. He's dazed and worn from scrap with Sims. A knife glints in the faint kitchen light. He held up to the throat of Irene Casey. Her horrid scream echoes throughout the quaint and quiet town. Now I will become what I was always destined to be, chuckles Green Taylor Sims, the blade of his knife edging ever closer to Eileen's supple throat. He always did. Rant can hardly move. He is paralyzed with a mixture of both fear and uncertainty until he sees a gold coin within reach, held up by multiple boogers.
He loves his boogers.
He always did go on about Tooth Fairy money, but here it was, right when he needed it. With all the rabies-fueled strength he could muster, Rant tossed the coin towards the two patrons. His mother in shock. Taylor Sims in shock. Everyone in shock.
Everyone's in shock.
Shut up,
He
idiot.
said sardonically.
Motionless, time froze, the sweat ever longing on the cheeks of Buster Casey. And then he dropped to the floor. That was a noise. Quiet and expired. Green Taylor Sims now had a 1933 double eagle lodged directly between his eyes. "Oh, Buster!" cried Irene as she ran to her son. Eyes soaked in fresh tears. A thick pool of viscous blood even, pooled around his expired corpse. Green Taylor Sims. That's who's the blood. The two fell into a warm embrace. Irene and Buster, feeling that it was all behind them. That's
what it looked like.
Irene, which one?
Dibs.
Oh, okay.
The screen door to the patio swings open without warning. A tall man in a lab coat, hair grayed with the ages, begins to sputter.
Is Mega Man's creator?
Buster Casey, I need you to come with me. Why? What is it, Doc? It's your kids. It's your kids, Rant. Something's got to be done about your kids.
Doc Brown.
Scene.
It's Doc Brown. He's back.
I'm glad Jacob liked it. Something's got to be done about your kids, Rant.
Fuck you guys. I'm the one that took it seriously. You guys didn't even listen. You just fucking
It was
yelled at
Doc
me.
Brown the
But
whole
how
time.
stoked are you that I built it up to this point that is just a Back to the Future reference?
By the way, I looked it up. Tom Arnold is still alive.
Good for him.
I wondered for a second. I haven't
Good
seen him
for-
for a long
good for
time.
him.
Good, yeah. I mean,
Good for him.
Good for him.
He's hanging in
I
there.
Born in
literally
Omaha.
just spit all over the table. You can see
Wow.
it.
Holy shit.
Holy
Rabies.
shit.
Rabies.
Oh,
Rabies.
no.
Oh, he's a drooler.
You better tell me what the next book is before I died.
Oh, right.
What's the next book?
Hold on, let me go.
Jay. Oh, wait. Is this the one that we all went to?
Rabies.
Did we go? Oh, speaking of rabies.
All right.
Did we guys do whether we liked the
All
book
right.
yet? Did we already do that?
Yeah, we
Yes.
already said
Okay,
that. I
good.
liked it. Jacob liked it. Tom,
Yeah. Go.
alright.
Tom,
Go.
what did you think?
Yeah, we already went over it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, in keeping with true me doing movie-based shit fashion,
Yeah.
I feel
I'm
I'm gonna do an omnibus basically at this point,
Oh,
where
snap.
we're gonna do a rapid fire, a lightning round next time.
Nice.
It's gonna be on a series of old Grimm fairy tales.
Oh,
Also,
Damn.
Wait, who's
Also-
the author?
the Brothers Grimm.
Who are the brothers' names?
I don't know.
I looked this up. Jacob and Wilhelm.
Hey,
Jacob! You wrote this book, but not.
There's also a couple that aren't quote unquote official Brothers Grimm, but they're very much in the style.
Jake, are you
So-
gonna list them in the
I'm gonna list them
notes?
in the description.
Oh, that sounds fantastic because I'm gonna forget.
Yeah,
Look, list them right now too, though, just to
but
make
I'm gonna list
sure.
them now.
All right, what
for you
stories
guys
are we going
and
over?
For you guys out there, here
We're
they
gonna
are.
count them off.
We got the Frog
One.
Prince, Rapunzel, Hansel and Gretel,
2,
Little Red Riding Hood,
17.
Rumpelstiltskin,
Okay,
the Golden Goose,
we're doing it.
Snow White,
Tom's got a little
Cinderella,
finger space. Whoa, there he
Sleeping
goes.
Beauty,
He's in my crotch.
The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah,
Jack and the Beanstalk,
I like him.
Pinocchio,
Okay,
Puss in Boots,
Puss in Boots.
and the Book
Puss-
of Spells.
So
I'm
15.
excited to read Pussy Boot.
Where'd he
spells.
go? Where'd this?
I put him back in my cup.
15 stories. Am I correct in counting?
It's something like that. It's something like that.
Hey,
But
so read the. Oh fuck, we're
check in
drunk.
the description because they were
Check
yelling
the
over
description.
me.
We'll write on that because we're sober. But again, we're at the end. Fuck this shit. We went long.
Good.
Thanks for listening.
Send that to me. 'Cause
You're
I
the
didn't
best.
listen.
Yes.
Please subscribe. Tell your grandmother. Tell your grandfather. Tell all your future relatives who
Tell
are
your-
actually...
tell
Who might be your past relative?
Yeah.
The alternate
we don't
reality.
know.
Yeah, the
Shelf.
alternate reality use. Tell them, subscribe, like the video, just listen. Hey, if you like it, join us on the Reddit. We got a Reddit. Blackout Book Club. Check it out on the Reddit. That's the Reddit.
It'll also be in the description.
It's
Yeah.
there.
We have Insta faces and grams
Instaface.
of
Check us out on the
books.
Instaface, the
Tumblr,
Red Tube,
Twitter,
the books,
Facebook,
Facebook, the Red
Friendster,
Tube, the
yeah.
Friendster, the
RedTube,
Face
the
Tube,
Red
MySpace
the Red Tube,
is a
Face
thing still.
Tube.
Yeah. Space 2, my book.
I like that we just did that.
Enjoy it.
Hey,
That's
we
our book.
literally love
and
doing
we're
this.
sticking
This is
to
the
it.
book. Join us next time for the Grimm Fairy Tales, picked by Jacob. You fucking bod, you fucking cool guys. Yeah. Boom. Bah. Yeah, girls, you're also cool. Did we fade to black there? All right. We faded.
I guess so.